Just share the certain. Okay. Okay, fine. So just okay. Okay, I'm talking. Okay, 1 second. Fine. That's it. Okay. so just in the we had an introductory session, right? So here, who is a data engineer? Who data engineer roles and responsibilities? Google Cloud Platform, various GCP data engineering products or services, job market of GCP. Right now. So advantage of cloud over the on-premises, we need to set up our own hardware infrastructure on top of that. Why we are going for a cloud? Already we got on-premises, we are interconnecting through network, we are maintaining the systems, right? Everything. We need to set up our own hardware infrastructure on the top of that OS installation, purchasing of database license, designing database objects. Again, to maintain all this, we require separate teams. Hardware team is required. Operating system team is required. Networking team is required. Yes. Security team, database administrators. But here, everything in the cloud premises, we no need to maintain any of this. But here, everything in the cloud premises, we no need to maintain all this. No need to maintain any infrastructure. We no need to maintain any licenses. Here, everything in the cloud environment, right? So, what are the various cloud service providers? Many are there. Not only this GCP or Azure, we have got many are there. That Azure, AWS, GCP, Oracle Cloud, Salesforce, VMware, Liquid Web, right? Alibaba Cloud, Rackspace, DigitalOcean. All these are the various cloud service providers. Many companies are preferring GCP, Azure, and AWS. Why GCP as compared with Azure or AWS? Means GCP growth is increasing fast. It is increasing rapidly. Here we store data, we retrieve the data, read data, we perform data analytics, we see high availability of data. High availability of data. High means if anything, if anywhere, if there is any crash, if there is still you can be able to retrieve the data from different other regions. Data is safe and secure here, easy to scale, and GCP is providing flexible pricing, right? Yes. Okay. Why to choose GCP? And why to choose GCP means fastest, biggest network, right? It is the fastest, biggest network in the world. Means it has got, if I talk, this GCP, it has got Google, it has got the Google has got data centers. This GCP, this has got data centers throughout the world with very high-end virtual machines, petabyte bandwidth, high performance, separation of compute and storage, and flexible pricing. Even some discounts are applied if you are taking for long-term workloads. Flexible pricing, right? Customizations. So for a particular instance, if you want to customize depending upon the requirement, scalability, easy to scale, capacity increasing or decreasing, live migration, supports live migration of virtual machines, whatever existing system we have. Yes. And also big data and ML, it has got many inbuilt predefined ML and AI APIs, right? And free trials. Some services are free for lifelong. Some services are free for 1 year. Some services are free. Some services are free for lifelong. Some services are free for 1 year. Some are free for only 3 months. Customer systems migration, right? Okay. And the data engineering, right? I was talking about a data engineering and this how it is different from a ETL developer. traditional ETL developer. If you go back like 10 to 15 years, there is no concept of data engineer. So data engineer will be working, is going to play with the data, is going to handle data, ingesting data, extracting data, storing the data, filtering data, transforming data, processing data, merging data, sorting data, grouping data, and analyzing data, right? Yes. Data engineering involves how to extract data, what are the sources of the data, how to extract data and what are the sources of the data, how to process the data, and what is the destination of the data, what is the target and how to process, and what are the sources of the data, how to extract data. A data engineer designs and maintains an organization's entire data infrastructure. So data scientist, if we talk on the other side, data engineer as compared with data scientist, strategizes for the future, recommendations for the
Your voice is not audible.
so here
Yeah.
data engineering involves how to extract data, what are the sources of the data, and how to process data, and what is the destination of the data, right? Yes. And the data engineer designs and maintains entire organization's data infrastructure. So data scientist, I was talking, right? Recommendations for the future, strategies for the future. You perform data analysis, data predictions, classifications, clusterings, recommendations. So data analysis, data predictions, data recommendations, and the data engineer does data management, data storing, and data processing. Data analyst summarizes the and visualizes the data of the past. Hmm. Data engineer should be able to work with all kind of data, structured data, semi-structured, unstructured, streaming data, NoSQL data. NoSQL is nothing but not only SQL. Schemaless, record to record, different number of fields can be maintained. Streaming data, which keeps on generating, which keeps on incrementing. Structured data in the form of rows and columns like tables, database tables, Excel files. Semi-structured data, hmm, which are not fully structured, which is not fully unstructured, like XML files, JSON files. So, and also he should be able to work with all file formats, JSON files, Parquet files, XML files, right? Yes. Google Cloud Platform, it is a computing service. It allows customers to have platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, and serverless computes. A GCP data engineer, he ensures data quality, data storage, and data processing optimizations. Collaborates with the data scientist and just delivering the data as per the requirement in required format. Monitoring data infrastructure, see to see that data is available at each step of the process. And the major role like ETL, extracting, transforming, and loading, extracts, transforms, and loads. ETL is one of the major tasks of data engineer, right? Performs extraction, transformations, and loading. And also security, that is also one of the key tasks of data engineer. You should see that there is no data leaks or data exposures at each step of the process. And also like various GCP products, various Google, right? GCP products or services. GCP data engineering products or services. Google products or services, many are there, but data engineering related, as we are talking about GCP data engineer, right? So here data engineering related products or services. We've got cloud storage for storing data. Here we create buckets, in that we'll store files, storing data, right? BigQuery, like data warehousing for fast querying, for huge storage, and for analysis of large data sets. Data proc for big data processing and analytics, right? Yes. Data bricks for PySpark processing in GCP, right? PySpark, very high speed processing execution model, right? Which process huge data at quick time. Data flow for streaming and for batch data processing. Batch means user non-interactive. User interactive applications we call online applications, but we are not going to create online applications. Batch applications, user non-interactive applications. Example of your user non-interactive. User interactive means if you are booking a movie ticket, it is a user interactive. User gives the input, gives the response. But user non-interactive means generating credit card statements for millions of customers. User is nowhere required. User is not going to interact for that. Cloud Composure, Apache Airflow for automating and monitoring data pipelines. PubBar Sub for messaging and for data ingestion, for messaging and for data ingestion, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, these are the various GCP data engineering products or services. I was talking about PySpark. It is 100 times faster than normal disk processing. It is 100 times faster than normal disk processing, right? Yes. Yeah. Yahoo has taken a table of 100 TB consisting of 1024 columns. Task was sorting based on 16 columns. It was checking what is the time taken by different things. Oracle has taken around 3.5 days to process. MySQL has taken around 6 days to process it. Teradata, a specialized database used for data warehouse, has just taken 4.5 hours. Netija, another specialized database used for data warehouse, has taken 3 hours. Hadoop, right? So it brought a revolution. Hadoop has brought a revolution in distributed computation, parallel processing. It has just taken 3.4 minutes. These have taken days of time. These have taken hours of time. These have taken just minutes of time. So PySpark is 100 times. PySpark is 100 times faster than Hadoop. I was just saying it is 100 times faster than Hadoop, right? Yes. Okay, so that is just data engineering products or services that we'll be discussing, just entering into this technicals of this GCP, right? So if you want to interact with any GCP product or GCP service, we have got three methods. Generally, we have got three methods we have got. So totally in just, I'll be making you to understand what are the three methods if you want to interact with GCP products or services. So one by one, we'll be discussing in brief what are the interface methods for us. I want to interact with the GCP product or GCP service. What are the various ways available? Three methods. Okay. So throughout the course, we'll be discussing about these three methods, three interfaces, right? Just I have opened a separate notepad. Here I'm writing interacting with GCP, interacting with GCP services. Three methods are there. Cloud services, three methods. Or even if you say there's one more available method, okay, you can say four methods. using console, using cloud console, using cloud console, using cloud shell, cloud SDK, using cloud console, using cloud shell, using cloud SDK. Okay, first one. I'm just going to show you. Once you got the subscription, right? You can just say using, okay, using console, using cloud console. Using cloud console, right? Yes. First, what do you mean by a console? What do you mean by a console? It is a web-based graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. Using this console, we can interact. We can interact with any GCP services. Using this console, we can interact with any GCP services. Visual interface. It is a web-based UI. Using this console, we can interact with any GCP services. Visual interface. Okay. So web-based, here I'm saying it is a web-based UI for interacting with GCP services. Visual interface. Here we create a resource. Here generally what we'll do in the cloud console, we create a resource. We delete a resource. We delete a resource. Update a resource. We apply permissions or revoke permissions. What all we can do is we can create a resource, we can delete a resource, update a resource, permissions and revoke permissions. Difference between a service, difference between a service and a resource. Difference between a service and a resource, right? Yes. Services offered by GCP. But resource, if we talk resource created by user, we have many services. We have many services. For example, difference between a service and a resource. BigQuery. If we talk a BigQuery, BigQuery is a resource. Google Cloud Storage is a service. Pub or sub. And what do you mean by a resource? Anyone? What do you mean by a resource? I want the sessions to be interactive. If you got anything, you can just interact whether your answers are correct. Pardon?
So GCS bucket or table database, these are the
Yes,
resources.
yes, exactly. In BigQuery, if you talk BigQuery, service is there. You got a service. Generally, under the service, we create a resource. Under this, we create a resource. What is a resource like? Tables. So on tables you create. In case of GCS, GCS is a service. Under this, what is that? Under this, we create buckets. So these buckets are called resources. These products or services, this we call BigQuery, GCS, all this we call it as services. And so service is offered by GCP, but resources created by the users. Services are offered by GCP for their own business purpose. For their own business purpose. For their own business purpose. But resources, you are creating. If you talk resources, you are creating. You are creating for your own project purpose. For your own project purpose. Okay. See, if I talk about this console, right? Yes. If I want to talk about this console, I will give an idea, right? So I'm opening a console. Now let's see how I'm going to open a console. See, just I'm opening a Chrome browser. Within the Chrome browser, right? console.cloud.google.com. This is that site where we'll accounts cloud.console.cloud.google.com. So with which mail ID, right? We have got the subscription. So with that mail ID, right? Yes. Generally, if you take a free account, whenever you are taking a free account, it is going to give 3 months of free trial. You can work freely for 3 months. No need to take any paid accounts, right? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So, Vijay, like all the resources are free here, all the services.
So you can make it is going to provide the 26,000 rupees credits. It is going to provide you that you can use. If anything is generated, it will deduct from that. Okay. Sorry. Fine. So this is what the console. For example, whichever you want to open here, search option is there. I want to go with okay, cloud storage. Cloud storage. So this is a console visual interface. Visually you can interact whatever you want. For example, I want a cloud storage. So you can just click on this cloud storage. It gets open. So the available buckets here we see buckets, right? Buckets are the resources. Cloud storage buckets will be there. In that buckets, files will be there. So within the bucket, you can see different buckets are available here. Yes. And still, for example, Cloud SQL. Cloud SQL, if you want a Cloud SQL, just it's a visual interface. It's a console where you can directly interact with the GCP services or the products. Cloud SQL I want. This Cloud SQL I want. Where I have got some instances to MySQL, Postgres I have created. Right? Can check it in MySQL. Okay. The instances of various things within that. The database objects, databases, tables, views, everything will be available. So in this way, whichever product or whichever service you want, you can just type here within this, right? Yes, and you can integrate. You can just interact. Okay, just check this Google Cloud. Yes, here you can say Cloud SQL or Cloud Storage or BigQuery or anything. You can type it here. You can interact with it directly. This is one way. There's one more. What is the second way? Is through command based. Command line CLI. Command line interface. Yes. Using Cloud Console, using Cloud Shell, using Cloud SDK. Cloud SDK, right from your local machine, you will install this and you will just connect and you can just connect to that cloud, right? And you can just interact with it. That this requires installation. This requires installation on your local machine. On your local machine, you are supposed to download, you are supposed to install, and you're supposed to get connected, right? But this first two, you no need, not required. Everything you can work right in the now. So I'm talking about if you want to interact with GCP products or GCP services, we have got three ways where you can interact. You can use any of this, right? Yes. One is a cloud console. One is cloud shell, cloud SDK. Cloud SDK I'll discuss separately. We require some kind of installations. Now, cloud shell, right? Cloud shell. I can say it is a web-based console. It is a web-based CLI, not a console, sorry. The web-based CLI to interact with GCP services. It is a web-based CLI to interact with GCP services. CLI means command line interface. We use commands here. Using commands, we'll be interacting. Yes, just in a simple way, I say here using commands, we interact. We interact with the services. Okay. Now, for example, if you want to work with Cloud Shell, very simple. Just go to this. We have opened this console, right? We have opened this console. So this is the console. Welcome it as it Google. So here, can you see here? If you place your Cloud Shell, what can you keep? If you generally once you open this GCP homepage, right? You will be getting this. Here you can see activate a Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell. Click on this. Click on this. It is going to be activated. Authorize Cloud Shell. Yes, authorize it. Click on that authorize. Okay. For example,
Vijay, I have a question for you. Hello, audible?
yes, yes, yes. 1 second. One second. 1 second. Yes, go with your query. Yes.
So using this console or using the SDK or using the web UI, does this consume any extra credit on any method among these three which use the least and max, or all the same?
See, this console, and if you talk about this Cloud Shell, right? So where you will be working through online, but SDK is somewhere that SDK is something, right, where you will be installing in your local machine. Right? But the remaining two, wherever the products, right, the services with which you are interacting with, which, for example, Cloud SQL is there. Cloud SQL is there, right? If Cloud SQL, if you want to work with Cloud SQL, right, compulsorily, if you work with MySQL or Postgres, some compulsorily the server has to run. So you need to on the server. For how much time it is running, for that it is going to be charged, right? That too, that databases are too costly. So the resources are the products, right, which we are trying to use it, if you are interacting with it. So first you will be enabling them, you will be starting them, they'll be okay. For the amount of time we'll be using, for that you are going to be charged. For example, whether you are working with console or Cloud SDK or any of this, with what you are interacting, to interact first it has to be started, right? It has to get started. So once it gets started, from there onwards, how much time you are running for it, for that amount of time you are going to be charged. So immediately after your work is done, immediately need to stop them or stop the things, right? So that's why whenever you go with a free subscription, means this GCP is providing that with a 3 months of free trial. That too, for the 3 months free trial. Okay, you are asking, some of you has got doubts, right? Okay, for 3 months, okay, there is but some of them are paid, some of them are free, you are saying, right? But even though the paid, if you have got some paid services are available, still you have got 26,000 credits it is providing for you to be used within this 3 months. That is more than enough. Even if three people, if they are working on it, if they are, can work if sufficiently, the credits will be sufficient. Means 26,000 credits, you won't be using that much of credits, right? Even if you are using any some premium things, right? Even if it is getting deducted also, not a problem. You are not going to be charged a single rupee until you use the 26,000. After the 26,000, right? Then if you want to use those, means that much of credits to use it, that you need to be keep on working on that GCP things, right? Yes. So it's more than enough. You can work for the next 3 months. Our course will be for 3 months, and here also you'll be getting the subscription for 3 months. I recommend you to just go with the free subscriptions only. Don't go for any paid subscriptions. For you can get any number of subscriptions, right? And you can work on it. I'll just brief you how to step by step, how to I'll be showing you the next session, right? Step by step. So keep your the next session, right? Just one email ID, keep one credit card or debit card. But most of the time, credit card or debit card, Visa or MasterCard, you see that. Visa or MasterCards, mostly they'll accept. You will get a 3 months free subscription. From the 3 months, you can work freely on that. Even if any premium service is there, anything which is chargeable also, it is going to deduct the credit from the 26,000 which it is providing for you, right? Okay. So here, depending upon that requirement, depending upon the usage, either you will go with command based or console based. So generally, if you want to go for programming kinds of things, console based, even we'll be using some Linux based commands. We'll be using this basic command means a command line means compulsory. We'll be using some Linux related basic commands, not everything, not complex commands, right? So here I doesn't have any. See BQLS, it's not providing anything once. Okay. Now, for example, GS util. So here I can interact here. So GS util using, we can interact with Google Storage. GS util, this is the command with which we can interact with Google Storage in order to list out the buckets in the Google Storage. Okay, just observe here, GS utils means some commands will be scrolling down. Okay. For example, GSC util. We'll be discussing all this as part of our course, right? But just to have some knowledge how we are going to interact. GS util list. GS util list. So it is listing out all the buckets. These are demo bucket, MySQL migrate, test bucket. These are the buckets available. It is going to display the list of the buckets. Okay. So multiple methods, console method, shell, right? ls to list out the buckets, rm, if I use the rm command, here I'm using ls I can use to list out the buckets, rmi to remove the buckets. Here also, right? What we can do? We can create a resource, we can delete a resource, we can update, and we can also apply permissions or revoke permissions. We can perform all these operations. From the command line also, we can perform all those. We'll be discussing all those, right? How we can create a new resource, how to delete a resource, how to update, adding permissions, right? If I talk again in the Cloud Shell, anything, if you want to interact with BigQuery, if you want to interact with Cloud Shell, Cloud SQL, everything, right? Yes. For example, 1 second. I got, see here, for example, just I'll show you one example. Cloud SQL is there. I'm opening Cloud SQL. Just for example purpose, don't feel this everything we'll be discussing. MySQL database is there. I got a MySQL database. I'll create an instance for this MySQL database. Here I'm starting it. If you by the time you start the server, so you'll be charged from here. So compulsory, don't forget to stop it. Otherwise, it keeps on. You'll keep on charging. So starting this MySQL instance. So it takes around 3 minutes to start that. It is going to take around 3 minutes to start this MySQL server, right? Yes. Meanwhile, just so I said Cloud Shell, creating, deleting, updating resources, right? Again, if I talk again, if we go inside this Cloud Shell, two types. Cloud Shell is of two types. Two types. First is terminal. I'll just show you both. Terminal. Second is editor. Second is editor. Terminal will be there, editor will be there. In the terminal, what we do, we run commands and scripts. We run command and scripts. Editor, right? Yes. So we run commands and scripts. Editor, right? Editor. So managing source code. Here also we can run commands and scripts. It will be just like VS Code IDE. VS Code IDE, right? See, 1 second here, MySQL. Okay, still it is starting. Still it is starting. It takes 3 minutes, I said. So meanwhile, I'll just show you this terminal and editor. We run commands in both we can run, but see the difference in terminal and editor, how it is going to be. Just I'll create a duplicate copy of this. So I'll just right click and I'll say duplicate. One more copy of the same thing I'm going to get. This is console. Slowly I got one more, right? So what I will do here, now I got a tick mark here. Can you see I got a tick mark? It is running, started. In the console, it will be very simple, right? If you want to view the things, we'll be having a console. It will be very simple, right? Connecting with this. So for example, I want to connect with this Cloud SQL Studio, where you can see what are the things available. Database, I've got one database like DemoDB available. Username like MyDB user. I've already created this. You will be learning some password. Authenticate. Slowly it is going to open, right? So in my demo DB, I got some tables. All the tables it is going to show you. It is going to display this what console. You are not going to type any commands. You are not going to do anything. Everything like in the console, you are able to view all this. But same thing in the Cloud Shell, in the command based, if I want to do that, right? Just I'll be writing some small comments. I want to connect to this MySQL instance. Just to see if these are some how we are interacting. Just have a look, so you'll get an idea. Later all this you will be doing as part of our course. So for example, this is what activate a cloud shell. Understand here, this is activate cloud shell. I'm activating, I'm opening this cloud shell. G Cloud, MySQL Connect, Google Cloud, MySQL Connect. What is the instance name of MySQL? What is the name of my instance, right? Yes. Can you check it here? Instance name means, you can see it here at the top. MySQL instance, MySQL DB1 instance, the name MySQL DB1 instance. MySQL DB1 instance user mydb user hyphen, okay. Just mydb user, just say enter, just say enter. Okay, 1 second. It is not MySQL, it is SQL connector. See, 1 second, it is not MySQL, it is SQL connect. G Cloud SQL connecting, that not MySQL. Just now enter it. Now it is allowing your IP for incoming connection from this. Now it will ask for the password. Means here I am interacting with the command base now. Just previously I showed you how to open MySQL in the console where you giving the username and password, and you can see all your tables, databases, tables, views. But same thing in the command based Google Cloud SQL Connect. What is your SQL name, the database instance name, and the user MyDB user, right? Working, connecting to your enter your password. It is enter your password. At the rate 4 p.m. Now MySQL prompt will be open. Can you see MySQL prompt got open? Here we can see all those like show databases. This is what command based. Using commands will be interacting. Use demo DB database. Show tables. So here we'll be using commands. For every command, you will get that response, right? Yes. So in this way, select star from. But in console, you don't need to type all these commands. Select star from EMP. Okay, fine. Okay, understood now? There are 3 ways to interact with this GCP products or services. One is console. Directly you can open console, you can interact, you can open that. But second one is Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell is what? Command based one. So again here, okay. Now I'll go back. I've exited from it. Now if you observe carefully, I said here there are 2 things again in what? Cloud Shell. Again in the Cloud Shell, we have 2 types, terminal and editor. We have got terminal and editor, right? Yes. Okay. Terminal editor you got. Okay, how to open terminal? Just now we have seen how to open terminal, how to work with terminal. We are entering the commands, typing the commands. But editor I'll be showing you. First, observe here. Very simple. This is your home page. Here, this activated Cloud Shell. You activate Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell got activated. Now, can you see here? Open in a new window. I'm just opening that in the new window. That entire Cloud Shell I'm opening in a new window. Right. So it has opened in a new window. The previous window, I'll say, okay, this is the new window. It has opened in the new window. If you observe carefully, the terminal is there, editor is there. This is terminal, this is editor. This is terminal, this is the editor. Click on this, editor will be opened. If you close this, the editor will be closed. Now, if I just uncheck this, if I just unselect this, here, if you want a terminal or if you want editor, then again, this Cloud Shell is divided into two. I said one is terminal, one is editor. Terminal, what just I was talking about just now, right? Here you can see. Now, I'm opening editor. You see, if you want to open editor, say open editor. You can say open editor. It is editor, just like your VS Code editor. I'm closing this. I'm closing this. Right now, slowly it gets loaded. 1 second. Hold on. File. Open folder. Okay, this is home. Okay. Okay. Now observe here. I'll right click this. I'm creating a file. New file. If you want to work with any Python related things, you can just work with this Python related things. Just say click on this. For example, test.py. Test.py. I want to create a Python file. If you want to work with some kind of Python code, already it is existing. Test1.py you say. Now test1.py. Now you can write your code here. X value is 10, y is 20, print x plus y, print x minus y.
Extension is wrong. Test.1p.
X into y. You're writing this Python code.
Extension is wrong. Test.1py. It should be test1.py.
Okay, sorry. So 1 second, I'll copy this code. Copy. Once again, I'm creating a file. Test2.py. Okay, I'm closing this previous one. Okay. Run this Python file. Test2.py 10 plus 10. Run this Python file. Can you see? I'm just moving this output. This one. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20. Understood? This is cloud shell editor, where we can write this Python code, we can create .py files, folders, files, everything we can create here. Managing your source code, you can also do some kind of version control. Yes, and here also we can run commands and scripts. It is like just like VS Code IDE as well. So here also, right here also, if you see more on this cloud shell, if you see more on this cloud shell and cloud edit, this editor, cloud shell editor, right? Yes, I'll just cloud shell is a Linux based virtual machine. It is a Linux based virtual machine. Whenever we get Google Cloud account, whenever we get Google Cloud account, we are given with cloud shell. We are given with cloud shell. That too with small Linux VM you are going to get. Linux virtual machine. It is free. It is free, right? Here we use Linux commands. Here we use Linux commands. What is the size of this? What is the, you may ask, you may get doubt, what will be the size of this VM? What is the size of the virtual machine? 5 GB, yes, it is 5 GB storage. What is it? 5 GB storage. See here, Cloud Shell, if I talk Cloud Shell, it comes with predefined or pre-installed, I can say, pre-installed client libraries like Python, Java, Terraform, etc. So it is a Linux VM, comes with 5 GB storage. I will write code in editor. See, one more thing. I will write. There are two things: Cloud Shell and Cloud Editor. Two of that. I will write code. I will write code in editor. I will write in editor. I will run in terminal. That is also fine. I can write in terminal. I can open both. Here, see here. 1 second. So by default, all these libraries are installed. By default, all the libraries are installed here. All the pre-installed libraries, like go back. So this is what editor. I can open shell as terminal also simultaneously. Terminal also I can open, both terminal also open here. See, if I want test2.py to execute from here, Python, what is that? test2.py execute. Can you see the output here? 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20. I'm executing from the terminal. I have written in editor. Now I'm executing from the terminal. I can do that. If I say Python, we have got some pre-installed libraries. I'm saying Python. If I say enter, the Python version will be displayed. Python 3.12.3. August 14, 2025 it was released. Can you see some 3 arrow symbols here? Can you see some 3 arrow symbols here? You can interact with Python. 4 plus 5 I'm asking. 9. 23 into 44 I'm asking. It gives a response. X value is 10. Python no need of any data types. Y as 4. What is X? What is Y? What is X plus Y? I am interacting with Python statement by statement. In this way, interactive mode we say. Yes, if you want to come out of this, say quit. Even Java hyphen version. See Java Open JDK. Java also available. Java version is Open JDK 17 version. So these things are available. Pre-install you are getting all. You can work with 5 GB storage. You can work with Linux commands. If I say ls, see here, I'm saying ls command. It will display all. See just now what test 1, test 2, whatever we created, that also going to be displayed here. You can work with the commands, Linux commands, Python, Java, everything you can work with this. So here both I opened. I created that .py file in that editor and I am executing in the shell terminal. So both, if I want to close it, I'll close like this. If you want to close this also, I'll close it. Both got closed. Both you can open. Both you can work parallelly, right? Yes. So it is very simple. In this is what interacting through commands. Don't think commands will be complex. Commands will be simpler. Console also. Console means just you can say in the search with which component you want to interact. Search for that component. Cloud SQL or cloud storage or BigQuery or Dataproc. After searching, you will get it. And one more method I am supposed to discuss, that is SDK. That you through your local machine, also you can interact. I'll be showing you with your local machine how you are able to interact. SDK is there, software development kit is there, that you are supposed to download and install, that I'll be briefing you, right? But just two methods we have seen how we interact with the GCP services or the products. One more is SDK. Okay. SDK is also just like command based only. We'll be writing our commands. Only thing is in SDK is command line, shell also, cloud shell is also command line. Both will be using commands in both the cases. So here, if you see the difference here, right? If you see the difference, and here cloud console is a web-based, Cloud Shell also web-based, but Cloud SDK is not web-based. On your local machine you will be installing. In the next week, next class I'll be discussing that how we install it. It is local based on your local machine. It is not hosted on the web. Second one, this is what? Interacting with GCP services visually. Either if you talk about the database or if you talk about the cloud storage buckets, everything you can check it here. Second, here interacting, here also interacting with the GCP services. Interacting with the GCP services using commands. Command line. Interacting with GCP services using commands, command line. Using commands we interact, using commands. Here also interacting with GCP services. Same thing, Cloud SDK and Cloud Shell, both are same, both will be using commands. But the only, what is the difference between Cloud Shell and Cloud SDK anyone? This is in the web based, this is local based. It is not hosted on the web, but remaining everything will be same. We'll be using command. Both the, if you are using the command on Cloud Shell, the same command works on SDK also. Okay, fine. What we do here in all the things you do, just now we have seen that what we can perform here. We can create a resource, we can delete a resource, we can update a resource, we can revoke permissions. These things you can do. This all you can do in all the three. In all the three you can perform all this. Here also same I'm saying. Same means whatever the four things, here also same thing. So now you got a clarity, right? So Cloud Console, Cloud Shell, both are web-based. Cloud SDK is not web-based. On local machine you will install, it will be hosted on the, is not hosted on the web. But Cloud Console interacting visually, but Cloud Shell and Cloud SDK interacting with using commands, command line. So Cloud SDK, it is not okay. It is also command line interface. Both Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK are command line by interacting. So these are the three interactive interfaces, right, for interacting with the Google Cloud services. Yes. So next is I'll be showing you, I will be entering with the uh, so step by step I'll be showing you how to get the free subscription, right? So keep your credit cards or debit cards handy. Credit cards or debit card, everyone you can parallelly do and get the subscription step by step you can follow, right? I'll be showing you in any one of the system. The others you'll be doing parallelly along with me to get the free subscription, and you can work the things practically along with me, right? Yes, the sessions also hands-on sessions wherever required you can do parallel along with me. Installations, databases installations, connections, installations, SDKs, wherever that installations, I'll be asking you people to do parallel along with me so that you can work with the practicals later. So we'll be discussing about all this first once you, the environment setup is done. Once the environment setup is done, right? Later we'll be discussing about one by one component in brief. Okay. Cloud SDK installation also saying next, at how to install it. Yes. Later, we need to how to create a project. We need to compulsory, we need to have a project to work with the things. Without project, you cannot perform anything. And locations, regions, zones, right? Locations file, it's providing 5 locations, 37 regions it is providing. In India, 2 regions like Mumbai and Delhi. So you can also select that regions accordingly, locations accordingly whenever you are creating the resources. Whenever we are creating the resources, right? Yes. Fine. See, I was saying about the editor, right? We got one editor, just like VS Code ID. In Cloud Shell, we use editor, same as VS Code ID. In Cloud SDK also, we can directly install VS Code in your local machine. In your local machine, you can install VS Code and you can execute Python code within this local machine, right? Where you can get that. Okay. So, not that someone was messaging, right? Not like total, we are not writing huge codings of Pythons here. We are not going to write huge code. We are not developing any web applications here. So just basic knowledge of Python, basic Python knowledge is required. Basic SQL, basic Linux, right? Knowledge is required for understanding the things. Everything will be neat and clear. You will be interacting in the sessions. So the practical part, everything we'll be discussing, right? From the next session onwards. So from the next week, we'll be spending enough time and extra time. So we'll be spending some extra time from the next Saturday, right? So the timings will be fixed. There won't be any change in the timing. It will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. from the next week, right? The timing of this batch, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. From the next week onwards, you people directly will go with the practical part, creating subscription. Meanwhile, you're getting some time, right? You people just can have some brush up on this basic Python, basic SQL and basic Linux commands, right? To just have some prerequisites on this. I'll just forward you the notes. I'll forward you the notes, right? So even you will be getting these videos of the sessions once you have got enrolled. Hope if you're not enrolled, get enrolled by paying the fees. You will be getting the videos of this current hour sessions, and also they will be getting the videos for the prerequisites like Python, MySQL, Linux videos you'll be getting, right? So those who have not got enrolled, try to enroll for getting this. You will be added to the WhatsApp group. Those who have already got enrolled, right? You can just take this number and give a WhatsApp message on this number so that you'll be added to the WhatsApp group. And also you'll get a mail also, official mail also of the WhatsApp group. Meanwhile, for WhatsApp group, just give me a WhatsApp group is created by me to have direct interaction students with me, right? So just give me a WhatsApp message on this number who have got enrolled, right? On this number, can you see this? And if you have already got enrolled, still the video access and the prerequisites videos, right? So to get those, one more number, 720-721-2427 for video access, for videos. Okay, fine, you can message all that. Fine. So people who are not enrolled, you can see, right? You can see that payment process, the course content details, payment details, the contact details of the online team. You can see a big message in the chart where you can see the contact details, payment details, all this it is provided. So get enrolled for getting all this, getting added to the WhatsApp, getting the notes, getting the videos, right? And getting the paid link. Next Saturday, the link, a new link you will be getting. So just before 2 hours before the class, you will be getting a new link. That link you need to follow up to the end of the course. Okay, the videos are only playable, they are not downloadable, right? You can just view the video. If you're absent to any particular sessions, can go to that video and attend the next session for the better understanding. So this is what, but from the next session onwards, I want the sessions to be more interactive. Whether your answers are correct or wrong, keep responding and keep have an headset, right, for interacting for the next 3 months, right? So it looks very simple if you're attending the sessions and if you're doing the practicals regularly, right? So we'll be working with many working examples in during this course, right? So sometime I'll be extending the sessions, right? Whenever we deal with the practical sessions, practical parts, right? Yes, there's nothing theoretical, everything practical, or what we'll be performing this data engineering, right? Yes. Okay, fine. The prerequisites I'll be providing you. So I'll be also be discussing about basic Python syntaxes, some basic Linux commands, and some basics related to this Spark I'll be discussing, right? People who doesn't have idea about it, right? Okay. So from the next week, we'll be starting with the actual practical parts, um, creation subscription and working with this, interacting with this. And we'll be starting with the first component, GCS, Google Cloud Storage. After that, right? Yes. So you can just go to the course content, and if you've got any queries, you can ask me up, right? Yes, anyone. Yeah, notes you'll be getting, right? You'll be getting added to the WhatsApp. In the WhatsApp, you'll be getting the notes on daily basis. Okay. So what we discussed today in the previous session, right? You'll be getting the notes of it. Fine. Any other queries you got, anyone? Right. So the duration will be like 12 weekends. In brief, we'll be discussing. The timings will be 6 to 8 in the evenings, Saturday and Sundays. Sometimes I will be extending. You will be getting the videos, soft copy of the class notes, a WhatsApp group, assignments and tasks, interview questions you'll be getting. Right. And also from the DurgaSoft side, they'll be providing Python videos, MySQL, and this videos. Okay. Yeah. I'll just add you, right? Durgesh. As the okay, fine. Okay,
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
fine. So okay, for this week I'm just signing off. For the next week we'll be going with the practical things, right? Yes. Thank you all for your time. Meet you next Saturday, right? 6 p.m. Okay, fine. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Okay.